ça n'avait rien à voir avec l'Afrique. Et c'est bien que c'est avec nous aujourd'hui que vous sachiez qu'effectivement, c'est un partenariat qu'il faut et que nous travaillons tous, n'est-ce pas, pour l'Afrique. Donc je suis très content que vous soyez là. Je voudrais aussi remercier effectivement Google parce que vous avez approché Google qui a envoyé quelqu'un ici, je ne sais pas s'il est dans la salle, mais j'ai cherché à le rencontrer effectivement, Google Africa. Merci beaucoup. Et avant de passer la parole à notre prochain partenaire, j'aimerais quand même aussi dire, puisque nous parlons de Google et d'autres qui ont assisté, nous avons effectivement dans la salle l'un des acteurs aussi très importants, n'est-ce pas, du domaine des registres, le registre français. Pierre Bonis est dans la salle, je crois, pour AFNIC. AFNIC a un collège francophone qui appuie les CCTLD, normalement, africains surtout, et donc a fait venir un certain nombre de participants à cette réunion. Je tenais à le signaler. Merci beaucoup, Pierre Bonis et à Mathieu pour ce que vous avez fait. Merci. Then I would just like to, because now I think I'm also feeling thirsty, I would need some coffee, right? So I would like to call then ITU. Dr. Rigege, please, for your comments.
Thank you. I know it's a difficult name. My name is Andrew Rujeje. Andrew Rujeje, ITU Regional Director for Africa. Madam Commissioner, Honorable Ministers, Nihaze and Nyumbi, Ida, my sister also, and Fadi, Pierre, Mesdames et Messieurs, bonjour. Pour la même raison que mon frère Soumaïla a dit, est-ce que je peux parler en anglais? Merci. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to be here. Mr. Chadi, what you just said is an inspiration to me. I was in the audience in December at Wicked when you graciously stood up and supported ITU and the Wicked process. In your comments, you said you wanted to build an oasis, not a fortress. And I can say there can be no better precursor to ICANN multi-stakeholder meeting or multi-stakeholder internet governance meeting than that. In thanking you and Mr. Crocker, Dr. Turi, my principal, Secretary General of ITU, said that our communities needed to reach out to each other for the sake of our people. I'm standing here representing the ITU for that purpose, to bring a message of goodwill and to commit to the message that you and Dr. Ture have conveyed to all of us. I'm not going to read what I had put together. I simply want to say that what ITU is doing, what our development, telecommunications development initiatives that we have that include, among other things, cybersecurity, accessibility, affordability, even transparency, we cannot do alone. Development in Africa needs not only investment, government commitment, regulation, it also needs governance, particularly internet governance. When you look at the number of fiber optic cables that are landing on Africa's shores, and when you look at the brilliant innovation that is coming out of our young people, it is scary. We in Africa are not ready for what is going on. We are not ready because when you get 1.25 terabytes of capacity and you start connecting government servers, business servers, you start transacting through the banks, and you are not really sure how this whole process is governed, it is scary. What I'm trying to say here is that this effort in Africa needs all of us. It needs the multi-stakeholder model. And on behalf of ITU, I'm here to support that process. On behalf of all Africans, I'm here to support that process, to work with ICANN, to work with ISO, to work with Afrinic, and all the institutions that are involved in internet governance. And of course, to work with sister organizations like African Union, like ECA. I think together we shall get this done. Together we shall make Africa hard, in the words of Fadi. We in ITU have great experience in multi-stakeholderism with 193 member states, over 700 private sector members, academia, civil society, and others, and we sit together and come up with an international treaty. It is no small feat. So it is the same process that is built into our constitution that we would like to support, and that is today being initiated or advanced, because it has been there in a way. It is being advanced by this ICANN meeting. So just to say, I'm very pleased. I was just telling Fadi a few minutes ago that to me, this is groundbreaking. As regional director of ITU in Africa, I have never been invited to an ICANN meeting. This is indeed a new season, and I intend to embrace that season with both hands, with all my strength, and I'm sure both Dr. Ture and Mr. Sanu in Geneva are behind me in that. They have said so, and they will keep their word on that. We are, again, in ITU doing a lot that we shall need your help with to fulfill our commitment of connecting the world. We can do it together. In that respect, I cannot leave the podium without bringing two things to you that you need to save dates for. The ITU will be holding an inaugural Africa Child Online Protection Summit. Inaugural Africa Child Online Protection Summit. And I don't see anybody among you who that subject does not concern. It is a concern for all Africans. It is a concern for the world, but my responsibility is Africa. I want to make sure that these minds that are innovative, that are coming up, have no encumbrances that are brought by what is going on in cyberspace that is less than pleasant. The conference or the summit will take place in Kampala, Uganda, and the dates that we hope to achieve are June 26 to 28. Please save that date. Another date that I would like you to save, the ITU in partnership with the government of Rwanda, where the government of Rwanda hosted Connect Africa. I don't know how many of you remember that. As the natural next step to that, ITU, in partnership with Government of Rwanda and of course with other partners that we are now coming to, will be holding Transform Africa Conference and Summit. We have, as much as we can, connected Africa. I'm not saying that process is going to stop, but we have done a tremendous job. You have all done, and our governments have done a tremendous job in connecting Africa. Now, what are we gonna do? We need to get up and transform Africa. I thank all of you.
Thank you very much, ITU, especially for helping transform Africa. And then I would like to turn to Dr. Wilder for her comments, on behalf of ISOC International.
I wish I were tall. Fadi mentioned my red shawl, and I just want to say it's only from having a number of African sisters have I learned to have the courage to wear color. So thank you. I see it. I see it out there. I'm going to try to be very brief and just make a few points. The Internet Society, or ISOC, is not new to this region. We have many wonderful partners. I learned something that I heard repeated today by Madam Minister, and that is all protocol observed. So I won't thank you individually. I love that. I'd like to use that with some of my colleagues as well. But I want to say that the Internet Society has learned an awful lot from Africa. Africa and your interests are, I can confidently say, embedded in the DNA of the Internet Society. So when I joined ISOC not quite 2 years ago, we were talking about, and I was given the opportunity to work with our regional offices so that they could become regional bureaus. And we've put quite a few resources into the Africa Regional Bureau that is headed by Dawit Bekele. Dawit, will you stand up? I think most people know you. And his staff, and thank many of you who have been providing us the additional resources to expand our work. That has gotten us thinking about whether regionalization is really the right approach, and we've decided, no, it really isn't. It's localization. What we want to do is be part of working with everyone, all of the stakeholders at the local level, and being sure that when you see activities and policies and technology being expressed by the Internet Society at the global level, you recognize yourself in what we're talking about. And what we hope, our dream, is that by our being able to follow your lead increasingly and be welcomed by you to provide training, capacity building, other opportunities to engage with local institutions and local stakeholders of all kinds. And I was telling the Uganda minister, I've twice been in government, and I too breathed and smelled and all of those things that you said. That we are truly providing value, and we are truly welcome, continue to provide the value that you're willing to have us stay engaged. I want to say I've spent this past week with the new ICANN and with Fadi Shahadi and with Tarek Hamel and with Pierre in the last part of the week. And any time a partner, an existing partner, or a new partner steps up and infuses additional energy into what they're doing, an additional focus, it raises all of us up. And so I want to thank Fadi and ICANN for the work that you are doing here. I just want to make a few points about ISOC's engagement right now. For those of you who may not know us as well as others, we were formed 21 years ago by two of the fathers of the internet, Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn. They formed us in large part so the Internet Engineering Task Force would have an administrative home. And so our roots are technical. As part of that, our mission has been and continues to be a fervent belief in the power of a global, open, robust, resilient, accessible internet. I was saying yesterday at the end of the DNS workshop that the global internet, any network, is only as strong as its strongest links. And it is made stronger by additional links. It's clear that Africa has the capability and is poised to act, to become a leader in a much stronger internet. And so when we look to the African portion of the internet, we also look to a stronger, more resilient, more accessible, more transformative global internet as well. So being here is key to what we believe in. We also fervently believe in the multi-stakeholder model, and I quite agree, multi-stakeholderism takes different forms at different times, but it has been our experience through the internet and through other forms of engagement that when everybody who is going to be affected by a decision, whether it's a policy decision or regulatory, whether it's a decision to build and operate infrastructure, whether it's innovation, whether it's a user interface, whether it's the development of content, that decision will be far more effective, more robust, and sustainable than those that do not involve all of the stakeholders. So this is our mantra. This is what we hope will become part of the DNA of Africa, if it isn't already. This is why we have been so excited to support the sub-regional IGFs, and this year and going forward, Africa IGF. We want to be a part of that. I also just want to make our own announcement. The ITU is very good at announcements. and our own announcement, and this is one that involves AFTLD and ICANN, is that there will be a DNS forum. It will be, I believe, July 13 and 14 around the ICANN meeting in Durban. This is something that people have been working on for some time, and yesterday there was even additional focus on what can be accomplished there, and we would hope that everybody would be able to attend that as well. There's much more I can say. Lucky for you, I won't. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Welda. And of course, we really appreciate it. And at some point, we are all. Okay. ITU is making an announcement, but they will have to pay before we actually open my mouth. So yeah, he's just giving us the date of the Transform Africa, which is on 28 October to 1st November, Kigali, Africa Child Online Protection Summit. And then that's going to be June 26 to 28 in Kampala, Uganda. Is that right? Okay. 100 beers. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for that, what I was saying. And then we are all, you spoke of DNA. At some point, we are all with ISOC, and happen to be the founding member, chair of ISOC in Benin. Thank you very much. Now we are actually closing, and then before that, I will call, and then this is last but not the least, our own true Afrinic leader, Adjel Aplogan.
Thank you, Pierre. Honorable Mr. Tambo Nyombe and Lokadi Niadi, I would like to thank you very much for joining us at this event. It's not usual that we have ministers with us and who stay with us throughout this, so thank you for joining us. Dear Dr. Elam Mahmoud Ibrahim, dear Fadi, dear Aida, and dear representative from the different and various other organizations, all protocol observed, of course. I would like to use this opportunity to thank the government of Ethiopia, in the name of the whole African Technical Community, UNECA and Africa Union, for facilitating this event. I think your support has been detrimental for the success of this event, even though we are at the beginning. I would also like to thank ICANN and its Vice President, Pierre, that we know very well, for taking this initiative in Africa. I think this is the first of the kind, and we want to thank you very much, we from the African community, and especially from the technical community as well, for organizing this. And FADI especially, I would like to thank you for your engagement, for your support to make ICANN a global organization, but also to help this region to follow the whole path. Multi-stakeholderism is the term of this meeting, but multi-stakeholderism is not only key and critical for the internet governance. In fact, multi-stakeholderism is something very important for the increasingly complex socio-economical environment in which we are living. And the notion of multi-stakeholderism itself doesn't come with the internet. It comes with people need and people wish to solve complex issues by putting people together from different areas. And we have to keep that in mind. And remember every time that it is very important for us as a region, as a developing region, to embrace that model every time we talk, we think about our ICT and internet development strategy globally. A meeting like this has to become systematic for us. Every time we want to solve complex issues, every time we want to talk about ICT, every time we want to talk about the internet, because we believe that internet is a key facilitator, a key catalyst for development. At Afrinic, multi-stakeholdering has been the core of our function since the beginning. This has led us to set a very open, bottom-up, and multi-stakeholder policy development process right from the beginning, where all stakeholders can participate and define how we as organization manage number resources in the region. This engagement for multi-stakeholderism also pushes us to set up within Afrinic structure a government working group, which allow and help government to participate in our policy development and understand what we are doing in terms of number resource management. We have also, right from the beginning, and since 2008, funded and support few regional IGF initiatives as well, because we believe that IGF, besides being a global initiative, localizing it and regionalizing it is what will make it successful. Because that is where the multi-stakeholder model experiment. That's where people get together and discuss issues. in our desire to make the multi-stakeholderism a reality in the region as well, with AFNOG and few other partners, we have changed and rebranded our joint event to the Africa Internet Summit. We call it Africa Internet Summit because we want to create a formal framework, a formal environment, where we can bring all different stakeholders, all different partners together at an event where the technical community is very well represented, to be able to allow and give the opportunity of those different stakeholders to exchange, to engage, and to confront the thought in the region. You are all invited to the next Africa Internet Summit in Lusaka from the 17th to the 21st June, where a lot of policy will be discussed, but a lot of other economical, financial, and political issues as well will be discussed. Usually when we talk, people tell us that we do not want government to get involved with us, but that's not true. We want government. We want to create an environment where technical community, civil society, academic, and government can sit down around the table and evaluate issues, discuss them, and find solutions. We hope that the coming 2 days will reinforce our engagement from the different stakeholders to the multi-stakeholder. We hope that all organizations here will go back and continue to work to strengthen the multi-stakeholder approach in the region for a bright future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adiel, for those words and calling also for deepening, the multi-stakeholder model, especially the one that AFRINIC is fostering. And then you are talking about the Africa Internet Summit. You've been inviting us to the next meeting scheduled in Zambia, actually. Thank you very much for that. Well, I think with all those very highly inspirative comments, I would like to, with your permission, close this down and in fact invite us to the coffee break, because I do think that we need a half break. They say no coffee because half break. And then Your Excellency, Dr. Commissioner, really grateful for your coming and staying with us. And I'm certain I do have so many important things to attend to. Thank you very much. Thank to our ministers. Thank to all our panelists. And thanks to you all. And then we'll just adjourn and then go for the coffee break. And then we come back in. We need to save time, please, in 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. 50, okay. Unica is our host. He said 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, then we are back here, and then we start our first plenary. Thank you very much.